Today I want to share with you my experience with a different product. We typically review audiophile products, which are pretty straightforward. This music, it's your ears, and you can rely on me to do my job. But today I wanted to review a mini portable display. This is the UColor UPerfect O Lite or O Lite. It is a 13.3 inches display made for iMac, iOS, and Windows, of course. It's made for portability because at this size, it's almost like a tablet, like a larger tablet, but not the largest tablets. It's not like a Samsung Ultra tablet. It's more like a middle of the road tablet. There is no touchscreen, it's just a portable display for using outdoors. The company doesn't necessarily quote it for productivity, but I wouldn't use this for gaming. So I would call it a productivity-oriented external monitor for travel. This version costs $329. I actually did not want to review this one. I wanted to review the larger one because for me, 13.3 inches is a bit small.
Wait, what?
To add insult to the injury, this version has a 4K resolution. So not only is it super sharp, but you can never run it natively because you will see nothing at 4K at 13 inches. I have 4K at 65 inches and I still think it's a bit small. So this one, the text is not readable if you run it natively. And that may be an issue because most operating systems like Windows or even Android don't scale your apps very well. It's OLED, the display quality is far, and I mean far better than anything on the market. It's far better than my smartphone, than the S24 Ultra, far words, leaps ahead than my monitor, which is a Samsung 65 QN95C or D. At this point I always replace it, and yeah, it's far better. The actual picture quality is insane. It's so clear, crisp, the colors are deep and rich. They're not oversaturated, but they're super saturated. It's insane what this little monitor can produce. You may be wondering why I don't turn it on during this video review, and part of that is because it doesn't really work with my smartphone. It needs quite a bit of power and it would try to eat the power from my smartphone, but my smartphone cannot offer so much power as to power this. So at that point it needs to have both Type-C ports populated, which are on the left side of the mini display, which means that you have to travel with two Type-C cables, a power brick, and something that can feed it signal, because even then my smartphone doesn't usually see it or feed it signal. The cables may be the issue because I also have a different external monitor, and this right here is the Arzopa Z1FC. The Arzopa is much larger, as you can see, which I like a lot. Can be powered from my smartphone. The default cables work. It's only full HD, which works well for this size, which is about 16 inches. Very good compatibility with most stuff. The picture quality is horrendously lower than the UColor UPerfect O Lite. One of the main reasons I wouldn't use the UPerfect UColor O Lite for gaming is that it only has a 60 Hz refresh rate, which makes motion looks a bit stuttery to my eyes. I've been spoiled and I have mostly been using 144 Hz monitors for almost 4 years now, so everything else just feels stuttery, slow, and it's not great to work, especially on Windows for a computer. So the O Lite is better for productivity tasks. For example, I would take the Kadas Mind 1 mini PC with me, I would take this, I would take a keyboard and a mouse, and I would work outdoors. That's perfect. Another considerant is that it does come with this case, which is a multi-foldable case. There doesn't seem to be any magnetic attachment on this case, and I tried to stick it to the UPerfect UColor Lite in every single way possible. It just doesn't stick to the tablet. There is no way to use this together. I've been trying for such a long time now. It just doesn't work. So this case, I think is great because it offers it protection. I would have wished that Arzopa included one with their monitor. O Lite comes with the case, but the case is not a stand, while Arzopa has a little fit at the back which allows it to stand on your desk, create like a little tent. So for the UColor UPerfect Lite, I've been using this, which is an off-brand AliExpress tablet support. It looks kind of like this. You can imagine what it does. It's pretty natural. It transforms the Arzopa from a tablet-like thingy into a full-size monitor. Oh, there is a magnetic attachment, look. So it has some magnetic properties, wow. But how do you use this as a stand if this is how it looks? Wow. Yeah, I don't like this. It's super wobbly, not secure enough. There just isn't enough support for its own case. But still, the case is a nice addition, and having it is much better than not having it. I won't complain about having something. I just wish they made a better case or included the stand support. So as I was saying, the magnetic properties are not very strong on that case. I purchased this. I will leave a link in the video description if you want it. As you can see, I had to use a lot of those styles of protections on the inside to avoid scratching because they don't really protect the monitor. So you may scratch it. I also had to glue few here on the lower lip because once again there is bare metal there and it might scratch the case of the tablet. It's like your own portable mini laptop monitor, but it looks much better than any laptop. And one of the problem with laptops is that they have such limited power, and Kada's Mind One, for example, as a mini desktop computer, is so much better that I just don't bring a laptop with me anymore. I sold all of my laptops because I don't like how they operate. They are usually very stuttery. There are so many driver incompatibilities with laptops. It's horrible. So the laptop experience is just not worth it in 2025. Windows 11 makes things much worse. Then there Kadas, which created the Mind One, which doesn't have any of those issues. Also, with the Lite, it has a peculiar issue. To run it at 100% maximum brightness, it's super bright and the colors are so much more beautiful, but it eats so much power that it cannot be powered by the Kadas alone. So once again, you need a separate power outlet for the monitor. So this monitor requires its own power Type-C plug, which once again is more cable you have to carry, more power outlet you have to carry. Of course, you can purchase a power brick that has multiple outputs, one for a mini computer like Kada's Mind One, separate power for the tablet. There are many combinations that could work and do work really well. But using the Lite for gaming is something that doesn't work due to its limited refresh rate. Yet, for productivity, it's so nice and it's so beautiful. You could use this for video editing, photo editing. You can do so much with it, especially if you are a student or someone who has to travel. The OLED display is very beautiful and at the same time is also pretty resilient. So if you push your finger on the display, it doesn't damage it. With IPS displays like the Azropa, yeah, you will damage the display if you touch it a bit harder. So I have to give the UColor UPerfect Lite a full 10 out of 10 grading. It's beautiful, it's superb, but I think that it has some drawbacks that you have to consider because there is a bigger version, the O, which is larger. Once again, I would like that. It's faster, it has a faster refresh rate, 120 Hz refresh rate. I would like that. I don't use it that much on a daily basis because of those limitations. I prefer having a smoother OS, having a larger tablet, and not necessarily a 4K display because at 4K the text is just too small to be usable and scaling just doesn't work for all apps. At the end of the day, it's a very good product, and if you are in the niche where you need a 13.3 inches portable monitor, the UColor UPerfect Lite is the best one that I have ever seen in my entire life. Don't forget, you can always like this video if you enjoyed the content, press subscribe, and I hope we'll see each other really soon. Bye!